What is here? What is here with such a Manchester United performance? What is a beard? Who cares about that? Guys, it's me, Web. Guys, can you identify me? How's my new look, guys? Give me your feedback, but better be positive, fam, because I told you going forward, it's all positivity about Manchester United. Listen, I lost a bet, but you know what? I don't care. That's what sports for. That's what betting is about. There is a winner and a loser. I knew that the bet I was making was really difficult, and that's why I really made it. But listen, I was so impressed by the boys, and that's why here I am to tell you guys, let's focus on the big three, not on my head, my mustache, or my gone beard. My name is Web. Like, share, and subscribe. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about a boy that has mesmerized everyone, every member of Ruben Amorim's backroom staff. This is Leny Yoro, who finally made his debut for Manchester United. Of course, the fact that it was in a loss to Arsenal, it might be sort of overshadowed, but not when I'm there, not under my watch. We should give it the attention it deserves. But also, guys, when in the world are we ever going to give credit to Mathis Delete? We make it look like Nusa Mazraoui is the only good signing. Well, he is the best signing we've had. Don't get it twisted. But the elite is being consistent. You people are not giving the elite enough flowers. He is being consistent. Listen, and I think we are soon having a very amazing back three. The back three that Ruben Amorim is going to build out of Leny Yoro, the elite, and Nusa Mazraoui is going to be enviable. Now, I've just seen an update from Fabrizio Romano, who has said, and let me just quote it for you, that in every internal meeting, even during talks before joining Manchester United, Ruben Amorim and his staff mentioned Leny Yoro as a crucial player and smart signing. Now, key word for me is smart. I remember when we signed Leny Yoro, people were not sure about why we're panicking and why we had to rush and make such a signing and blah blah blah. Therefore, all that money, he's a kid, it wasn't part of the plan. Listen, after that debut, I'll tell you, he played only for a few minutes, but I'll tell you that was an important moment for Man United. Probably that was the most important part of the 2-0 loss to Arsenal, at least in the eyes, in the view of Manchester United. You saw first of all how he played, how he was sprinting and taking on guys. I think it was Martinelli. He was involved in a 1v1, and he was sprinting and taking him on, falling into balls, forcing corners. This boy is physical. He's a good ball passer. He's technically gifted. I've told you about that, and he will be so important playing on that right hand side of the back three. And we know that yes, for now, Ruben Amorim is rotating, but he's not going to be rotating forever. At some point, he's going to zero down on his preferred back line. And trust you me, Leny Yoro is going to be a part of it. Now he's beginning to figure out who he wants to be in his starting back three, in starting team. And Yoro is an important part of that. Now he is certainly going to be playing with the elite. And you see the beauty with that is we seem to have, I think, now identified the elite as our probably most industrious centre back. Because he can play proper in the middle of the back three, where I think it will be his main position. I think he's going to be our starting centre back in the middle of the back three. Yoro on the right, Mazraoui on the left, probably for the unforeseen future, probably for some time. Or most likely, we could see the elite at times playing on the right, because he has shown us that he can comfortably play on the right as well. So for me, he's showing us a side of himself that we were craving, we were hoping we could get out of him. The guy is consistent. I saw him get injured, and Onana, was shouting at him to get up, man, just get back on the pitch and let's play football. And they actually almost getting into an altercation. I liked it. That character, that desire, that fire in their belly, they wanting to fight because they did want to chase the game. You never saw that under Erik ten Hag. These players are now fired up. They are picking and drawing from the energy of their manager. Now, Delete in the back there may not be as in terms of pace up there with Nusa Mazraoui or Leny Yoro, but I'll tell you, his technical abilities, his physicality, his ball passing ability are going to be very, but also his heading. when it comes to set pieces. And you do recall that Man United is improving on set pieces. We might be praising Arsenal now, but I'll tell you what Carlos Fernandez and his set piece coaches are cooking might be the one thing closest to what Arsenal does uh, with their set pieces. But I've not seen a team play set pieces like Arsenal does. I'll give it to them. They invented something that is unplayable. That is very good to see. That's amazing. But I'm telling you, we've seen these improvements in each department of the team. But the elite is going to be so core in the set pieces. You saw the header that the save he forced David Raya into. And I'm thinking, wow. So if you focus on Man United, I think one of the biggest improvements in that game was the backline, who were able to contain Arsenal because the two goals considered out of set pieces. You cannot entirely blame the backline. They did their job because, listen, they they were passing the ball with calmness even before the Yoro came on. Of course, with Maguire and Mazraoui and Delete, they formed a solid back three. But those three, Nosal Mazraoui, Delete, and Leny Yoro, are certainly going to be so integral in the game of Ruben Amorim. And you see, Mazraoui is the animated, comfortable baller in the back who you need. Leny Yoro is the physical, technical giant, young, exciting energy, baller in the back. Then you've got Delete as the big guy who is doing the smart things and who's give you a dimension going forward. You see the way Gabriel gives Arsenal the dimension when it comes to their set pieces. I think that's a good balance. You think, look at that and you're thinking, this is a back three I can rely on. I can be confident in. Now, of course, you might have your reservations about Nusa Mazraoui not being left-footed, but I'll ask you, did you see Saka in the game? I'll tell you, I struggle to recall Saka in that game. I struggle. I know he played. I struggle to recall Saka, his face in that game. Whenever I watch Arsenal games, Saka is written all over them. Bukayo Saka is all over the place. No Sal Mazraoui and Tayo Malaysia neutralized Saka from the game last night. They did. So even Tyrell Malaysia is another gem we'll be talking about in the future when we speak of players who certainly have a future at Man United. Of course, Ruben Amorim spoke about as well how Luke Shaw is an important part of this team because such a player of his qualities, you don't lose him. You've got to be patient with him. He made it clear that with the qualities of Luke Shaw, they will try to do everything to help him because the setback he got is different, by the way. It's not a recurrence of what he has been suffering before already. I think this is going to keep him out for a few weeks, but it's a different setback. This, I think, because the body has not been playing for a long time. The few games he played, I think something else came up. But Amorim has made it clear. This boy, Luke Shaw, is important both for Man U but also for England. He mentioned that in the press conference for England as well. That's why they will do anything to support him because you don't lose such a quality of a player who, when he's under 30. But listen, for me, that back three, I'm looking at Man United's next game, and I'm thinking we might actually be up for something. Leny Yoro's full debut. I low key feel like Leny Yoro's full debut might come sooner than we expected, sooner than most of us expected. By full debut, I mean him starting, yeah? Him starting a game. I'm telling you, it might come on Saturday at home against Nottingham Forest. I wouldn't be surprised if Yoro starts in the back line with probably Delete and Maguire, and maybe we have Mazraoui rested. Well, Mazraoui looks like the only guy that, and him and Onana look like the only guys that Amorim might not be so comfortable resting. But I think Mazraoui could be rested against Nottingham Forest because we've got a Man City coming up somewhere early, of course, in this month in December. Then we've got a Europa League game, and then later on we've got Arsenal in January because there's quite a number of intense games coming up that I think a player like Mazraoui will use a bit of rest, I think. And I think now we've got the personnel to come in and try to match that. I've had people, of course, trying to bash Amorim because of his boldness and braveness to rest certain players like Ahmad for the game against Arsenal. And I'm thinking, I think perhaps you don't get the idea of this whole rotation thing, but also they don't understand the way this guy works and his approach to the game. But I'll tell you, I have no qualms for me. I think his game plan worked so well. I thought the Mount trusting Mount. I mean, it was such a technical first half that you're thinking if we had maintained it that way, probably Arsenal wouldn't get those so many corners they did. That costed us the game. But that said, nothing for me was wrong tactically from Ruben Amorim. I was just amazed at his genius. I was just amazed by his genius. But anyhow, that's it for you guys. The back three is almost taking shape, and you love to see it. I'll tell you, in the future, it will be very easy to tell how good Man United's back. And you see, a good back line, a good back three is a foundation for a solid team. Soon, we are going to be having that because of the comfort that we are seeing every day with this team. Like, share, and subscribe. My name is Mr. Baldy Webb. I don't know. Let me see how long it will take for this hair to grow back, fam. This is Arsenal. That's why the 11th of Jan is going to be personal for me. Personal vendetta, fam.